And this is Hibikster again for SNKCapcom.com, and I am here with the one and only Dieminion. Dieminion, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Dieminion, got a couple of questions for you. Previous to Matt, have you ever been across the border to compete in Canadian tournaments, or was Matt your first?
Well, I was invited actually to play in Montreal Nemesis.
Okay.
Which I did win. Played some pretty good players. Actually, that was my very first time in Canada.
Okay.
And, I played some players that I played before season's beatings, like Chirithi, very strong. Played for Montreal. Also, I played Snafu for the first time.
Yeah.
And a lot of other good Montreal players, you know. And I think Canada, is a very strong country.
Yep. Any other notable players?
Of course, JS Master's pretty good. He's like, you know, he's
pretty notorious.
Yeah, he's done his work. I say JS Master, Chirithi, Snafu. On their level,
yeah, it's
hard for me to really gauge. Like, there's other good players like Air and Jose, but they're on the other side.
That's right.
Canada, so I haven't played like Jose,
right,
apart from a couple online games. And I've never played Air at all. So
are you planning to go to Canada Cup this year?
I'm looking forward to it, but I haven't made any plans to go yet.
Right. That's cool. Now, just a bit about yourself. How long have you been playing for, and when did you start playing fighting games, and when did you start taking it to a competitive level?
Well, I started playing fighting games actually a long time ago. Probably started taking it competitively about 98, 99, actually. My first fighting game that I did take competitive was actually King of Fighters 98.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was my favorite fighting game. It's like, there was no fighting game at the time like it. So that was my favorite fighting game. I did play stuff like Street Fighter Alpha also, Alpha 3, Alpha 2.
Right.
Actually, Super Turbo also. I took a hiatus from fighting games around 2004 until 2007. And I just came back to play Street Fighter 4 when it came out in 2008. So
nice. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what was your team in '98?
King of Fighters 98?
Yeah.
I played a whole bunch of characters. Like, my favorite character was like Chris, Yashiro, Iori.
Almost Team Orochi, basically.
Orochi, basically. Yeah, my favorite team is actually the sports team, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the black guys. So it's fun.
That's funny. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that game was very, very good. And on the topic of King of Fighters 13 is just around the corner. Are you considering looking into that, or are you more focused on Street Fighter for now?
Yeah, more focused on Street Fighter for now. King of Fighters 13 looks interesting. It has a new system. I haven't been fond of the latest King of Fighters games, like King of Fighters 12.
12 was an abomination.
Like, yeah.
We can all agree to that.
Yeah.
But looks like 13, they're really putting a lot of heart and soul into it. 13 they're really polishing it up.
It looks promising. I'm definitely looking forward to playing the game on a competitive level, and we'll see how far I can take it.
Now, you do a fantastic job playing Guile in Street Fighter 4. What made you choose him as your main, and what are your impressions with the changes he's gone through in each iteration?
Well, when I first started playing Guile in Vanilla, I played him because no other player at the time that I was playing him. Okay. Because I guess he wasn't as strong starting off as the other characters like Sagat, Akuma, Ryu. Right. So I started playing him, and I started watching a lot of videos, you know, like from guys out west, guys in Japan.
Right.
And I could say at the time in Vanilla I was one of the best players, but I think the character was holding me back because he was weak. So then I took a trip to Europe, and in France they had a bunch of tournaments where Daigo was there, you know, a bunch of other Japanese players also.
Right.
Well, they had 2 major tournaments. I got top 8 in both tournaments, so I was pretty good, you know, satisfied with that result.
Absolutely.
Then while I was in Europe, Super Street Fighter 4 came out, and Guile.
They give Guile a lot of loving.
Yeah, yeah, basically what you just said. So I actually won the first Super Street Fighter 4 event in London, which had 160 players.
Wow.
But and I won with Guile, of course, and that's when I realized how strong, Guile was.
Right.
Then I came back to America shortly after, and I was making pretty good results with them. I wasn't winning as much as I'm winning now, but I guess that's just my result of playing the character and having character loyalty and sticking with the character.
Right.
And AE came out recently. Guile received nerfs, I guess. I don't know. I probably Capcom looked at my videos and figured he was too strong or whatever, but I'm still doing pretty good with him. I've won majors actually now, even in AE, so won majors. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to 2012 and what he has to offer.
What are they giving him in 2012?
His flip kick, upside down kick. It's actually unthrowable after the 6th frame, so you can meaty like A-Bulls, command throws, and Zangief's command throw. Slash kick got a slight buff, 10 extra points of damage on each version. Sonic Hurricane did not get a buff in any way, but if you flash kick FADC Sonic Hurricane, because they distributed the damage in a different way now, you get 50 more points of damage for doing flash kick FADC Sonic Hurricane, although Sonic Hurricane itself didn't get buffed. Air throw has gone back to 3 frames from 4 frames in AE, but they didn't give his range back. They just gave the frame back, the startup. So I think with the few buffs that he did get, probably able to work better with the character and make it more fun.
Excellent. Yeah, AE 2012 looks like it's going to be a lot of like, positive changes for characters, trying to rebalance the game.
Yeah, rather than nerfing, it's not a lot of nerfing going on in AE in 2012 as they did with AE.
Right.
Which makes the game more fun because you don't want to over nerf characters.
Right.
And I see now a lot of players are complaining about Yin Yang nerfs.
Right.
But I actually still think they'll be very good, even with those nerfs.
Absolutely.
You just have to. It's just the characters. They're just made for brain dead.
Yeah, they're more or less leveling the playing field right now.
Right. It's like now I don't even feel bad for people switching to Yin Yang. This is simply the best characters in the game.
Right.
So why hinder yourself when you can just beat everyone with those characters?
That's very true. Any final thoughts, shoutouts before we end this interview?
Well, shout outs to you, of course, Anant, for having me, of course, once again. Shout outs to Toronto Top Tiers for holding another one of Toronto's finest tournaments. Shout outs to Toronto. This is actually my first time in Toronto, like I said before.
Excellent.
Had a good time last night. Did a few fun stuff, uncensored stuff, but we don't want to talk about that right now. And shout outs to all the guys that the Canadian players that comes out to every event and supports the Canadian scene. And I'm one of those players, so be proud to support the Canadian scene also.
Excellent. Well, we're definitely looking forward to having you for more events and whatnot.
Sounds good.
Anytime you're around, I'm sure we'll be extremely welcoming. It's always a pleasure. Dieminion, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
This is Hibixter signing out for SNKCapcom.com.